This is the Iron Trader. It is Sunday night. Now the futures open here at 6 o'clock. That was about 15 minutes ago. So we are going to review crude oil here and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, selling stock, commodity, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have crude oil, your daily and your weekly chart. Well, we'll take a look here at the old daily first. Okay, now Friday, you can see here where we went right up into that 21 SMA. And you put a little topping tail in there, and now we have like a sideways action. I mean, it's really early. It's been open, market's been open 15 minutes. So far we have an inside day. So what we want to do is we want to watch, let's take a look at the downside first. So we want to watch Friday's low. Very, very key. Okay, that's 83.35. Now, if that's lost, we have this really nice 8 simple moving average at 82.92. Now, if this price comes down to that 82.92 and it holds it, that's where you take a long, okay? And then you can run it all the way up here into this 21 SMA here, because obviously, let's see what a brick wall that is. It's not going to get over the first time, maybe not even the second time. So that is going to be very, very key, okay? Now, again, if you close over that 84.53, well, then you can hold your long, and then we start rattling up all the way on the candlesticks, where I'm going to show you here in a second. Okay, so let's look at the downside first. What we want to do is we want to watch the bottom of that candle. That's at 83.35. You want to watch this 8 SMA, 82.92. Now, if this comes down and goes lower, then what we do is we follow this candle. You look to the bottom of that candle, 82.44. That's going to be your next support. And then we'll come right here, 81.99. That's your next support. And then we have that nice 50 SMA at 81.66. Now, if that's lost, then we just follow these candles. Here you're looking at 80.88. And right here you have 80.70. And then we come over here to your price channel, which is, well, obviously 80.70 right there. And then right below it, we have 80.04. Now, when you 50 SMA here, the green, crosses over your red, that's very, very bullish, okay? So always remember that. That's why we're holding this key pattern. Now, when you look at your RSI here, you're sitting in the center. You got plenty of room to run. Your MACD is still bearish because your green is below your red. But if that curls up, we can have a scenario like here where it curled up above, and then we have that going higher, okay? So very, very nice. Now let's just look at the upside. So obviously you want to look at today's high. We're looking at 83.69. We come over to the top of the candle. You're looking at 83.83. And then we look at right there at that 21 day, that's 84.53. Now again, if you can bust through that 21 day, then you come right to the bottom of this candle. Okay, look at the low. You're looking at 84.75. We'll look to the top of this candle, 85.51. And then your next resistance is going to be 85.64. Now we keep right on moving on up. We come here. You're looking at 86.18. You have 86.63, 86.98. And then we start getting in that 87 range, 87.10, 87.22. And then you have your 87.67, which is your big breakout retest. So if it gets up there, and eventually it will, then we could, the breakout levels, well, we just look here on the weekly, where we're going to go. Well, you look right there. Your next level is going to be 87.83, and then we'll come right to the top of there. You're looking at 88.29, and then right there, 89.85, call her $90. That's what you're going to be looking at. Now, we get above that, come right here, 91.23, okay, 91.88, 92.43, and then your big retest up here, 95.03. So you always look to the left of the chart. That's where your resistant levels are going to be. So your key levels are going to be right here. Call it 90, call it 95. Those are your key levels, but you got to close, not just bust through, but you got to close above that 87.67. Very, very key. Now, again, when the market opens here on Monday, there's two very, very key levels that you want to watch. You want to watch that 8 simple moving average at 82.92. You want to have the price hold that. And then on the upside, we want to watch that 84.53. So now we're going to have a pinball action here going between these two. But what I do like about this is see how this 8 day came over here. It rolled down, very, very bearish. Now it looks like it wants to roll up. So what happens is it can be like what we have here. Okay, see where that rolled up, and look what happened to the price. You start ripping up, and then look at here, all the way on up. Okay, so when that price is above that 8 SMA, 8 simple moving average, that means that's very, very bullish. Okay, so that's what you want to keep in mind. The key is, can it hold it here on Monday, that 82.92. Okay, so that's going to be the key. So what I'm going to be looking for is this. If it comes down and holds it, then I will take a long position. And then what I do is when it gets up to this 21 SMA, I'll take half of that long position off. Okay, and then I'll see how it trades after hours. Okay, if it starts working itself over that, then I can always add to that position to go higher. Okay, but right now we got to see if it holds it. If it doesn't hold it, then we just keep looking to the next levels until we find support. That's all you have to do. It's really not that hard. The key is you're just trading support and resistance. Okay, now here on your weekly chart, this is looking very nice. Now look at how your 8-day is moving up here, and it's crossing right above here. Very nice. Now you're holding that. So this here by a Friday, because this is a weekly, it hasn't even opened here yet. So by Friday, this is what you want to hold. You want to hold that 83.31, and you want to hold this 81.86. Very, very key on a closing basis. Now it can rock it down, but you want to close above it. Just like here last week's candle, it came down, but what did it do? It closed above the 8 simple moving averages, and it closed above the 100-day. Okay, very, very key. Now what you want to do, you just want to watch those levels. Okay, so you want to look to last week's high. That was at 84.46, and then we'll come to the bottom there. You're looking at 84.55, and then we have right there, you're going to 86.16, and then we have that big retest at 87.67. Okay, very easy. But just watch this 8 SMA here and watch that 100-day on a closing basis by Friday. That's the thing. That's what it needs to do. It has to close above like it did here. Even on this red candle, you notice that it closed above that 8 SMA. Okay, closed above. See what happens when you close above? It just wants to rise right on up. Okay, very, very nicely. So again, just quick review. When the market opens here on Monday, watch that 21. Very, very crucial on the upside. Okay, if you can close above, then we just ratchet all the way and up. Maybe get that retest at 87.67 down the road. On the downside, watch that key 8 SMA. If it's lost, we just follow these candles down all the way down to that 50 SMA. Okay, so very, very key. The 8-day and the 21-day, very, very crucial. Okay, let's take a look here at natural gas. Okay, natural gas. Here we had that big gap up. This is that contract roll. You are firmly in that June contract now, okay? Just like we had here, you were firmly in that contract. Now, again, when this rallied up nicely, okay, it came down and it got as low as 1.86, 1.686, okay? And this was the gap fill at 1.67. So you never filled that gap. And then we had ourselves a really nice, good rally here. And you can notice that when this rally came up here, it went right into that 50 SMA. Now it got above that, but you notice it couldn't close above that 50-day. Very key. And look at the next day. However, when it sold, we had this was a Friday, had an indecision candle, and it came down and it held that 21. Then it went above that 50-day, and then it rallied up very nicely. Then the following Friday, you had that indecision candle, just like we had there. And then she came and she fell off, but you filled that gap. And that exactly is what you want to do. Now, when you look at this chart, you still look in here. You say, okay, you have a nice situation going here where we're trading in between these trends. Okay, so that's what you always want to look for. Okay, I went the wrong direction. Okay, so now so far we just have an inside day, but again, it's really early. So on the downside, look at the downside first. Okay, so here's what you want to watch: is you want to watch Friday's low. That's 1.90. Now again, if that sells off here, then we want to look to this level here. This is 1.85, 1.849 right here, 1.85. That's the next level that we're looking for support. Okay. Now again, if that is lost, then you're going to go right into these simple moving averages. Is going to be your next support, 1.789. And then we have your 8-day, 1.782. And then you have your 50-day at 1.76. Now, what I do want to point out too is last week we had that gap, okay, just like we had here. Okay, so you want to watch that bottom of the candle, that's 1.9. And then if all this is lost, you look to the top of that candle, 1.675. That is your fill, okay? So gap and fill. Now, why I point those out here is because they're like a magnet to the fridge. You know what I'm saying? They want to go right together. But if you can fill that gap like you did here, look what happened. Okay, you filled that gap with that candle, and then look what here. You had 5 good rally days. Okay, so that's what you always want to watch. Now, when you look at this candle, see how the topping tail, you went into that, you went a little bit above that, those simple moving average, but you couldn't close. Same thing with here. But then we had the reversal. See where the stick is on the bottom? Okay, then we closed above, then you close above. Then she fell right off the map here. But you had 5 good days. So if this goes all the way down, maybe we can get another good 5 days of trading here. Now, again, it just might just rally right on up here. We just don't know that. So on the upside, here's what you want to watch. Okay, so you obviously want to watch Friday's high. That's that 2.0, which lines up very nice with this candle. Now, eventually, you're going to get right there, okay, to that 2.16. There's your gap, and then look to the bottom of there. There's your fill at 2.42, okay, gap and fill, just like what we had here, okay, but this will be to the upside. Now, what we always want to watch is this 8 simple moving average here by Friday. Now, you can see last week it held it, okay? So what we had there, you had a bottoming tail. It came down lower, but you notice it closed above that key 8 simple moving average, and now we have to see. So if this rallies up and you can get above that 2.0, you have this 2.9, that 21 sitting right there. So if you're long natural gas, okay, you sell into that 2.09 because that is going to become strong resistance. And then right above that, you have 2.10. Okay, so you got 2 really strong resistance. Your 21 simple moving average on your weekly and your 100-day on your daily. You want to sell into that. You don't buy that unless it closes above. If the price closes above, then, okay, then you know the next target is going to be that 2.16, okay? But that's what you do. These are like brick walls. You sell into those. You don't buy this. Now, if this sells off and it holds this 8-day, that's where the buying opportunity is, right there, okay? If it holds that key level, 1.78, that's where you take the long and then you ride it up into that 21-day, okay? That's your trade, okay? So remember, don't be afraid to go long or short. We're going to have just sideways action going on here. And then when I say when you do have them gaps, this could be a really, really nice short all the way down, okay? So what I use for a short is an ETF. It's KOLD, works really good. Big volume, okay? Easy in, easy out, okay? Same way I like on a long, I use the UNG. It really looks really good. You can use Boyle. I like UNG better, okay? It doesn't have as much juice, but it just seems like it's just a lot more reliable than what Boyle is, okay? Because Boyle's a little bit more leverage, is a 2-time leverage, and those rebalance at the end of the day. You can't really chart them because you don't get a really good chart off of that, I should say. It's not very accurate, okay? So come Monday, watch that low, 1.90. If that's lost, then we watch 1.85. If that's lost, you come right here to your 21-day, okay? Then you come right to your 8 SMA, and then your 50-day. Those are all your key support levels. That is very, very crucial. If that is lost, then you're going to go right there to that 1.65. Okay, so if it goes up, you want to watch that 2.0. If it can rally above that, it's going to go right there to 2.09. Okay, and then 2.10. So you're sitting there pretty close where that's going to rally. That's where your resistance levels is on the next. Okay, that's what I got for you on your crude and that gas. I'll be back here tomorrow morning here before 8 o'clock. And then we'll get you all started for the day. Now, over the weekend, I made a weekend edition video, and it's all about trading tips. Okay, it has on there all your candlestick, how to read candlesticks, how to read chart patterns, and then I go to a bunch of charts where I show you exactly where like your buying points are. So a good example is if it comes down to that 8-day and it holds that, that's your buying point. When it gets up to this 21-day, that's your selling point. Okay, so now if you're trading, scalp trading, you want to use a tick chart, a 1, a 5 minute. If you want to slow the trade down a little bit, use a 15 or a 30 minute or an hourly or a 4-hour chart. But always look at a daily, a weekly, and a monthly. Okay, so anyway, in that video, it's all about trading. And then there's even a guy, Peter Tuckman. He's been on Wall Street for like 30 years. I got a little video of him on how he trades. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of good reviews on that video. So again, whether you're a beginner or if you're a novice or you're a pro like what I am, it doesn't make any difference. I always go back every week and a half, and I review all that same stuff that I just posted for you. I keep looking at those candlestick charts. I look the trading charts. Okay, so I just keep on looking at other things. I'm looking for double tops, double bottoms. I'm looking for breakouts. So it doesn't matter what level you are of trading. It never hurts just to get back to the basics and just take a relook at it and say, wow, okay, maybe if I would have seen this, or maybe I could look at that, or maybe I could see that. So it's right on my playlist, okay? So anytime you want to check it out, just go right there. It's just trading tips. Just click onto it, and then you can just review it, whenever you want. So I say it doesn't matter what level you are as a trader, it always will work, because a lot of times you can get stuck in a rut and you say, oh, this is here. But if you go back to basics, it'll get you right out of that rut. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow morning before 8 bells.